Everyone warned her not to enter the forbidden forest. They said whoever goes in never returns. But Ada and Emika returned, and now, anyone who dares to look into her eyes sees the hidden secrets of the afterlife. Would you dare to look? In the peaceful village of Ife, everyone was excited because it was Ada's wedding day. Ada was known for her kindness and beautiful smile. She was marrying Emika, a brave farmer who loved her deeply. The village had never celebrated a happier day. People dressed in bright, colorful clothes and danced to lively music. Ada smiled, but deep inside, she felt strange. She kept hearing a quiet whisper that no one else heard. Ada. Ada. Come to the forest, it whispered softly. She looked around but saw nobody. The elders always warned children about the forbidden forest, saying it was magical and dangerous. Ada wondered why the forest was calling her now. Late that night, when everyone had gone home, Ada felt herself wake up suddenly. The whisper called her again. Come, Ada. It's time. Ada felt her feet moving without thinking. She walked quietly out of the house, past the village huts, straight toward the forbidden forest. She stood before the dark trees and felt the whisper pull her in gently. Without fear, Ada stepped into the darkness. Suddenly, everything became quiet. The next morning, the villagers panicked because Ada had disappeared. Ada is gone. We must find her. Emika cried desperately. She must have entered the forbidden forest, said the chief. No one has ever returned from there. Emika made up his mind. I'll go find her. I won't come back until I do. The village waited many days. Emika searched but found nothing. Everyone thought Ada was gone forever. Then, on a quiet afternoon, Ada suddenly appeared at the village entrance. She walked slowly toward them, smiling gently. Everyone ran to greet her, full of happiness and relief. Ada. You're back. Emika shouted happily, running to hug her. But when he looked into Ada's eyes, something strange happened. Emika saw bright lights and beautiful places he'd never seen before. He saw fields filled with flowers, and people he once knew but who had passed away long ago. He saw peaceful, happy scenes of the afterlife. He stepped back, amazed and frightened. What just happened? Emika gasped. One by one, villagers looked into Ada's eyes, and each one saw something wonderful or mysterious. Some saw loved ones who had died. Others saw places of light, peace, and happiness. But each person became afraid afterward because no one could explain what was happening. The village elders gathered quickly. This is not normal, the chief said nervously. Ada has brought back strange magic from the forest. Maybe she's dangerous. No. Emika said firmly. Ada is still good and kind. She wouldn't harm us. But the villagers felt afraid. Soon, nobody would look Ada in the eye. Even her own family became frightened. Ada felt sad and lonely. Ada tried to live normally, but her eyes kept showing secrets. When children looked at her, they saw beautiful words and ran away scared. When friends spoke to her, they kept their eyes on the ground, afraid of seeing the afterlife again. One night, Ada sat alone by the village stream, crying softly. Emika found her there. I don't understand, Ada said sadly. I didn't ask for this gift. Emika hugged her gently. Ada, why is this happening? What happened in the forest? Ada sighed deeply, looking at the stars above. I don't remember clearly, Emika, but I know I've been chosen by the forest to help people. But everyone is scared of you, Emika said sadly. Ada nodded, tears in her eyes. Maybe I don't belong here anymore. The village elders met again. Ada is causing trouble, one elder said. People are too afraid. We must ask Ada to leave, said another elder. Emika begged them to reconsider. Ada is not bad. She's just different now. But the elders made their decision. They spoke gently to Ada. We are sorry, Ada, but you must leave. You can't stay here anymore. Ada's heart felt broken, but she understood their fear. She prepared to leave again. As Ada walked slowly towards the edge of the village, Ada stood bravely beside her. Ada, I'll come with you. No, Emika, Ada said softly. You must stay and care for the village. Emika felt tears in his eyes, but he knew Ada was right. The whole village gathered to say goodbye, watching sadly as Ada moved toward the forest once more. Before stepping into the shadows of the trees, Ada turned around one last time, then her eyes met Emika's. Again, he saw the bright, comforting scenes of the afterlife. He saw peaceful smiles, laughter, then joy. But this time, he understood. Ada's eyes showed not sadness or fear, but peace and hope. Emika realized that Ada's eyes were not dangerous, they were beautiful and special, a way for people to see that the afterlife wasn't something to fear. Ada, wait. Emika shouted, running forward. We need to understand your gift better. Ada paused, standing quietly by the forest's edge, waiting patiently. The villagers turned towards Emika, confused and curious. Could there be a reason behind this mysterious gift? Could Ada teach them not to fear, but to see beauty in what they didn't yet understand? Emika took a deep breath and said, we can't let Ada leave yet. We must first understand the secrets in her eyes. The villagers looked at one another nervously, uncertain what to decide. The villagers stood quietly, unsure what to say. Ada waited by the forest, her eyes gentle but sad. Emika stepped forward bravely and spoke to everyone, we are afraid because we don't understand. But what if Ada's eyes show us something important? What if she helps us lose our fear of what happens after life? The villagers whispered among themselves. Finally, a very old woman named Mama Nkechi stepped forward. She had lived longer than anyone in the village. I will look again, Mama Nkechi said gently. I have lived long enough. I am not afraid. Mama Nkechi walked slowly to Ada and smiled warmly. Ada smiled back and opened her eyes wide. When Mama Nkechi looked into Ada's eyes, she saw her late husband, Papa Is, smiling peacefully. He was young again, standing in a beautiful garden filled with bright flowers. Mama Nkechi saw him wave at her and heard him say, do not worry. I am happy, and one day, we will be together again. Mama Nkechi began to cry, but her tears were of happiness, not fear. Thank you, Ada, she whispered softly. Your eyes have brought me peace. The villagers watched closely. Mama Nkechi explained gently to everyone what she saw. The villagers began to feel curious instead of scared. One by one, people bravely stepped forward to look into Ada's eyes. Each person saw something comforting, a loved one smiling, children laughing, beautiful places, then peaceful faces. The fear that once filled their hearts slowly melted away. Even the village chief, who had once been most afraid, stepped forward and saw his parents smiling and laughing together, happier than he'd ever seen them. Ada, he said gently, we misunderstood your gift. Your eyes do not bring danger, they bring hope. Ada smiled with relief and happiness. Emika stood proudly beside her. Now, instead of fearing Ada, the villagers cherished her special gift. They called Ada a special name, the bride of the forbidden forest, guardian of secrets beyond life. Whenever someone in the village felt sad or afraid because a family member passed away, they would come quietly to Ada. Her eyes helped them feel peaceful again, knowing their loved ones were safe and happy. Ada never felt lonely again. Instead, she felt useful and loved by everyone around her. Emika stayed by her side, proud and protective, glad that Ada's kindness had finally been understood. One bright morning, visitors from a nearby village arrived in Ife. They had heard the story of Ada, the bride of the forbidden forest, who could show people secrets of the afterlife through her eyes. The leader of the visitors stepped forward. Our village is hurting. We have lost many loved ones, and our hearts are heavy. Please, may we meet Ada? Ada came forward gently. She looked into their eyes, one by one. As they saw the comforting scenes in her eyes, the visitors' sadness turned into peace. They thanked Ada and invited her to their village. Ada and Emika agreed to visit, happy that her gift could now help others too. That evening, Ada sat with Emika, smiling quietly. I'm so glad they understand me now, Ada said gently. But I feel the forest calling me again. Emika looked worried. Does it want you to leave again? Ada shook her head. No, not this time. It wants to tell me something important, something that might help our village. Emika held Ada's hand. Then let's go together. They walked hand in hand toward the forbidden forest. The trees welcomed them gently, and the wind whispered softly, guiding them deeper and deeper into the woods. Ada felt the magic stronger than ever before. Suddenly, the forest opened up to show something surprising, something they had never seen before. Ada and Emika stood amazed. Before them was a beautiful lake glowing gently under the moonlight. Around the lake, soft lights floated like tiny stars, and the air was filled with quiet, peaceful music. Suddenly, the gentle voice that Ada had heard before whispered clearly, "Welcome, Ada and Emika." "Who are you?" Ada asked softly, looking around. The voice replied kindly, "I am the spirit of the forest. I chose you, Ada, because your heart is gentle and kind. You were brave enough to listen when no one else could. Why did you choose me?" Ada asked, feeling curious. "Because your eyes can help people find peace," the spirit replied. "People fear death because they don't understand it. Your eyes show them it's not something scary. It's just another part of the journey." Ada smiled. Now she understood completely. Her gift wasn't meant to frighten people, it was meant to comfort them. "But why did you call us here tonight?" Emika asked gently. "Because your village will soon face trouble," the spirit warned. "I need your help to protect everyone." Ada and Emika listened carefully as the spirit explained. People from far away plan to destroy the forest, thinking it hides great treasures. But the real treasure is this forest itself, the peace it brings to the people of your village. Without the forest, sadness will fill the land. Ada felt worried. "How can we stop them?" "You must show them the truth," said the spirit. "Use your gift, Ada. Let them see the beauty that awaits everyone in the afterlife. Only then will they stop." Ada nodded bravely. "We will do as you ask." The next morning, Ada and Emika warned their village about the strangers. Everyone was ready to protect their beloved forest. Soon, the strangers arrived, carrying axes and looking angry. "We've come to take the forest's treasures," their leader shouted loudly. Ada stepped forward gently. "Please stop. You don't understand." The leader laughed. "Move aside." But Ada bravely stood her ground. "I will show you something important. Please, just look into my eyes." People from villages far and near came to see her, learning that death was not something scary, but a peaceful journey. As years passed, Ada and Emika stayed happy together. They lived by the forest, always ready to help people who needed comfort. The villagers now understood the gift Ada carried, and they called her the bride of the forbidden forest, not out of fear, but out of respect and love. The forest remained safe and beautiful, protected forever by Ada and Emika. They taught everyone kindness, bravery, and understanding. Ada's eyes continued to show the beautiful secrets of the afterlife, giving peace to many hearts. And as long as Ada and Emika were there, the forbidden forest was never feared again. Instead, it was a place of hope, peace, and gentle magic for everyone. And that was how Ada, the bride of the forbidden forest, turned fear into hope and sadness into happiness, with just the kindness in her eyes. If you had the opportunity to look into the afterlife and see your loved ones, would you look? Let me know in the comment section below. My name is Verena. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story. Subscribe to our channel so when we post interesting stories like this, you'd be the first to know.